In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop to recreate the look of these photos made by one of our inspiration artists, Mario de Souza. So Mario makes his photos really sharply contrasting black and white with a kind of grainy, sandy texture. They remind me of old-fashioned black and white war photos. So we're going to use Photoshop to try to achieve that look. So here is what your finished product may look like, and this was the original photo. So you're going to use one of the photos that you take in class of the little toy soldiers as the base of this project. So the first thing that I'm going to do is turn this black and white by looking over here in the adjustments panel and clicking on the black and white adjustment button right here. So you can move these sliders around a little bit to achieve different effects if you want to. The next thing that I'm going to do is give this photo the grainy look. So I'm going to take my original, the one that's in color here, click on it, hold it, and drag it down to the Create New Layer button, and then let go. So now I have the original and a copy. So on the copy layer, I'm going to go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise. I'm going to click the minus button so I can see my whole photo, and then actually, I think I'm going to click the plus so I can see a little bit of detail. And you can move this slider around to change the amount of grain. So if this is obviously too much if I move the slider this way. So it depends on your photo how much grain you're going to add to it. So I think mine looks good somewhere around 14 or 15. So I'm going to stop right about here. And notice down here for distribution, I have Gaussian selected, not uniform. So once I get this where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. By the way, your number could be vastly different. It totally depends on what your original image looks like. Okay, now it looks a little bit too grainy to me. So what I'm going to do is mix this layer with the layer beneath it. And to do that, I'm going to create or change the blend mode. So I'm going to open this up, and I found that overlay works pretty well. So it kind of takes away a little bit of the all-over sharp grain look and kind of blends it a little bit better. You could experiment around with some different blending options if you want to until you find one that you like. So the next thing that I want to do is make this a little bit more contrasty. I want to have really dark darks and really white areas too. So to achieve that, I am going to use something called curves. So here on the adjustment panel, I'm going to click the third button over, and it opens this diagram. Now this will also be vastly different for everyone because everyone's photos are obviously going to be different. So what I'm going to do is click to add a little spot onto this curve. I'm going to click and add another spot up here. Then I'm going to click and drag these spots around. I'm trying to make it really dark, some really dark areas and some really light areas. So you just have to keep messing around with it until you think it looks good. And I think I'm going to do something like that. So here's before and there's after. So now that my project is finished, I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to call it Grainy BW for black and white, and then put my name on it. And because I'm on my laptop, I'm just going to save it to my desktop. You should save it to your W drive. I'm going to leave it a Photoshop document and click Save. Click OK. Now, to get this onto my portfolio, I'm going to open up the snipping tool, click and drag a selection around my finished project, and then I'm going to save that as Grainy BW, put my name on it, and make sure that this is set to JPEG. And again, because I'm on my laptop, I'm going to save it to the desktop, but you should save yours to your W drive. Click Save, and now that is ready to be placed onto the Photoshop tab of my online portfolio. That's it for now.